this is education. This isn't here as a sales pitch. We're simply talking about how God put things together and how it functions through those laws of nature. And when, we often hear as we read the scriptures that you break a commandment, there's a punishment. And God says, you should do this and you shouldn't do that. Well, nature works exactly the same way. All of these wonderful processes, from the organization of elements to every life form, is all governed by a divine law. And so the results of understanding those laws are either we have that blessing from nature or we have that cursing from nature. And there's no place more evident to look at this than in agriculture. And so the plants are just wonderfully unbiased. They will tell you, if we look for the information, they'll tell you what's going on. They are intelligently put together and they operate by those laws. And so as we go through this, what we're going to talk about is just science and natural law. And they are the same thing if science has figured it out. Because the first authority that we look at here is what God did, not what a scientist did. And I have yet to meet a scientist who is smarter than God. So until I do, I'm sticking with the big guy upstairs. Okay? So anyway, as we go into this, please stop, and we have questions. I'm sure if you've got a question, everybody else has probably got one just about like it. So please stop. And so whether you're growing crops or whether you're growing a garden, okay, all of this is going to get consumed somewhere. Okay, whether it's in our livestock or someone else's livestock, or it ends up in the food chain for humans, this all becomes food. And so what are we putting into our food, and what does it do? Is it beneficial, is it marginal, or is it detrimental? And so how we raise this, we really hold the health of our livestock and we hold the health of our colonies in what we grow and how we grow it and what we do. And so what we're going to start with today, or just here this morning, is why versus symptoms. Okay? Everything that happens in nature happens for a reason. We can't fool nature. Nature was so brilliantly put together. And so when something shows up as a problem, there's a reason why it happened. What we oftentimes see is we get advice to treat symptoms. So if we have wheat that we're experiencing rust with, or a fusarium problem, or a root disease, we go out and we're taught to buy a chemical, buy a product that will go attack this pathogen or this insect. And that's how we're taught to deal with the problem. Underneath it, there's a reason why the problem occurred. Now, most industries find it very profitable to just sell you something over and over and over to deal with this. What we want to do is talk about why this stuff happens. And then you guys can decide if you want to keep buying this stuff or if you want to deal with the underlying problem, because it's correctable. You can fix this stuff if we do it the right way. if we don't have our plants and our soils working together, we're always going to be chasing this monkey right here. We'll spend a lot of money trying to deal with pathogens, insects, disease, all through the system. So we're going to focus strictly right here. We do not treat symptoms. I do not propose that the approach to dealing with a plant health issue. Hi, Abe.
Hi, Ken.
These plant health issues, this is expensive and you'll never fix it. So it's like you become a perpetual dependent consumer on these products. God did not make plants to be unhealthy, did not create animals to be unhealthy, and He did not create humans to be unhealthy. Period. That's not our role in nature. That is not His architecture. That is our architecture. So as we talk about this, I want you to just think about one thing. All these systems that we work with are biological based.